Hey guys, it's Jen from over at worldofjencraft.com, and I have probably the most simple card I have ever created to date. Well, maybe not, I don't know, but literally, it's just the most simple card, but isn't it just pretty? It takes absolutely no time at all, and it uses the Love What You Do stamp set that is out today. So Stampin' Up has released the Share What You Love bundles. There are 3 different bundles, 3 different price points, and there's also a chance to purchase the in colors, the brand new in colors at a 10% discount when you buy all 5 of them together. So let's get started. Just to show you briefly, okay, so this is what we're actually making both of these. So this one is just stamped onto Whisper White. And then this one here is stamped onto watercolor paper that I took an aqua painter to. And if you notice, this ends up being a little bit brighter. It's still the same 2nd generation stamping, but this one turned out brighter when you added the color onto watercolor paper. So I created both of these, and then of course I had to take it a step farther, and the Grapefruit Grove cardstock that comes in 2 of the Share What You Love bundles, I went ahead and just put a border of that for this one. So essentially there's 3 different cards. We will be making 2 because they're super quick to make. If you do want information on the Share What You Love bundles, you can go to my website, worldofjencraft.com, and I have all of the information plus a little video that Stampin' Up has where you can see what to choose from and decide which bundle would be best for you. So, supplies. Check this out. All right, Grapefruit Grove stamp pad and basic black. The Love What You Do stamp set. And a water brush if you decide to do it on watercolor paper. That's it. I did put a little touch of Wink of Stella on one of my cards just to kind of see. My hubby suggested it. But again, that's just kind of an option if you don't want to do it. And I only did it to 1 card. I did not do it to all of them. And we're not doing it on these cards. So what you're going to need for cardstock. Excuse me, I feel like I'm out of breath. Maybe I'm just talking too fast. I'm just really excited about this. So 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 5 1/2 for your card base. We're going to do this one first. 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 Whisper White, and a 3 3/8 by 4 5/8 basic black. That's it. That's all you need. So let me pull out. I do have this little foamy pad thing here that I like to use with the photopolymer, especially with the larger filled in images. Now I've already stamped off on this, so this is just my scrap piece of paper. So let's grab out our Grapefruit Grove and check this out. I love the new pads. They can be a little sticky, some of them more so than others when you first open them up and you're pushing them back into the tray like this. But after a while, they do start to loosen up. So have no fear, they're not going to be like that forever, but it does mean that they do close tighter. So let's grab out this larger stamp here, and I'm just going to make sure it gets nice and inked up. And I'm just going to stamp off, and then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it so this larger edge is at the top. And it's kind of hard to see where my cardstock is at this angle. Hopefully I'll get this right. So I'm going to come down, trying to make my top and sides all equal. Make sure that gets stamped on there. And then I'm going to grab out our basic black and stamp out our flower. And that's just going to go right about here. Pretty, pretty. And our thank you. Now these cards can be anything. It doesn't have to be thank you, but I decided just to use a thank you because it came in the stamp set. And who doesn't need thank you cards? So that's it. I'm going to set this aside just to make sure that my basic black dries. So let's go over and we'll just start on the second card. So I guess I don't need that right now. I'm going to set that aside. Grab out, now this time I'm going to do the watercolor paper. So where's my scrap? I'm trying to reach all around here. Get my pad back out. Get my scrap out. And our Grapefruit Grove. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Stamp off. Now, I have to admit, this is not Stampin' Up's watercolor paper. I know, bad demonstrator. I'm using what I have on hand. I just didn't have any of Stampin' Up's watercolor paper. So this is just from Hobby Lobby. But it works, right? It's watercolor paper. So there's that. And at first it's going to look like, oh my gosh, it doesn't look like anything. But when you take your watercolor brush, I'm just going to make sure I've got all the color off from the last one. That should be good. So I'm just going to take, just like this, remember that waterfront card that we made? So this is doing the exact same thing that waterfront card, where we stamped our image on the watercolor paper and then just went over it with the aqua painter. So I'm just making circular motions, just blending all of this color in. And this watercolor paper has a little bit of a texture to it. Not sure exactly how I feel about it, but I do kind of like it. Because it almost looks like a, oh, I can't even think of what it looks like. But so I'm just going to go ahead and just keep bringing the water on and just mixing it all here. I might put a little bit more on. There we go. I think it was a little too dry, so it wasn't given the exact look that I wanted. So this doesn't take too long. Now, this is a class that I'm actually going to offer in the month of May for my local peeps, where they are going to make 2 each of the 5 colors. So they're going to do 1 in watercolor, and they're going to do 1 where you just stamp on it. I'm going to put this one aside. Let's bring our first one back in and start assembling it. So just throw on some adhesive. I'm still using up my fast fuse. It's not gone yet. And that's just going to come on to our basic black. And this is actually would be great for gift giving. You could make a packet of these with, you know, maybe even 2 each of the 5 colors for a gift pack of 10. Put them in a little gift box and wrap a ribbon around it. This would make a great gift. And again, you can change up the sentiments, maybe do some happy birthday. I think they'd even be beautiful as a sympathy card as well. Thinking of you, pretty much anything you can think of as long as you have a sentiment for it. And this is just going to get centered on here. So there's that. And this card is done. So let me see. That should be about right. I just kind of wanted to make sure that the water was completely dry before I stamped our flower on it. So let's kind of wish me luck here. But stamp down. And you want to be careful. So it wasn't quite dry, but that's okay. We'll live with that. It just kind of adds to the watercolor look, right? We'll stamp our thank you on there. And that actually soaks up that ink pretty quickly when you put it on the watercolor paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it to our basic black. And You don't have to use the Stampin' Dimensionals. If you wanted to keep it a flat card, you certainly could. I did like how it kind of pops up our image piece on there, but it is not necessary. I think they would be just as beautiful without popping it. So this is just going to go on our card base and stuck down here in the center. And that's it. So here you go. There's those two variations, and I think they're just as pretty as the other. So let me grab out quick. Let's see. There's that. We already have that one. So these are the 5 colors. So you have your Grapefruit Grove, your Lovely Lipstick, Blueberry Bushel, Call Me Clover, and Pineapple Punch. Aren't those colors absolutely delicious together? And then just for fun, let me show you. I think these are, yep. So these on the watercolor turned out a little bit brighter. So here's your Call Me Clover in the watercolor. And there it is in just the regular. So there is a little bit of difference. It almost like gives this pop of color when you add the water to it. So there's your Call Me Clover, your Pineapple Punch. And look at the difference on the Blueberry Bushel when you add the water to it. You get this really beautiful kind of brighter blue. So there's that. And I think this is actually one of my favorites, is the Lovely Lipstick. And the difference in that as well. This is just this beautiful, bright, like a hot pink or a dark hot pink or whatever you want to call it. Now here I did add the shimmer, so I have the Wink of Stella on those. And like I said, it doesn't really make or break the card if you have it, which I like. So let's see, where's my last color? Oh, we did it. So, so there it is. And then before I sign off, let's go ahead and I'll show you what it all looks like with the pop of cardstock behind it, which will be available June 1st to place your order. Now, if you do join as a demonstrator, you can buy the starter kit for $99. Your minimums are not due, so they're waived that first quarter. So if you sign up in May, to be able to get some of the new products ahead of time, you don't have to meet your quarterly minimum until June 30th, technically July, but it, you know, $99, you get $125 in product, and there's no pressure. If you don't want to sell, you don't have to. If you find that at the end of your the next quarter that it just isn't for you and you don't feel like you can meet that quarterly minimum, you don't have to. You can just drop and become a customer again, or you know, or I would hate for you to leave Stampin' Up! Completely, but yeah, I mean, it's just a nice trial period. So I'm gonna stop talking because this video is turning out longer than I had hoped, but there it is with all of the cardstocks behind it. So 3 different variations, very simple. You could add rhinestones or pearls. The artisan pearls would be pretty on the, what's this called? The Grapefruit Grove. All of these names are killing me. I need to learn them. But yeah, so there it is. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I do. I will catch you guys on my next tutorial. I do have dimensions along with full color photos on my website, and you will also be able to download them and print them if you wish as well. So worldofjencraft.com, jen.stampinup.net if you would like to shop with me 24/7. If you like what you see, make sure to hit subscribe so you will be notified when I post my next video. Bye. Thanks.